Welcome to the Important Questions Podcast, the only comedy podcast that seeks to answer life's most important questions. My name is Dave, and I am joined by the Acolytes of Knowledge, Smitty, Scott, and Rico.
What's up?
How do you do, bozos?
Good. I wasn't trying to interrupt you, by the way. That was an accident.
I missed the magic from when Rico interrupted Dave. Now we can just cut him out.
Now I can just cut you out. Through the magic of editing, no one will know that I was interrupted through that first sentence. But the intro is the show. 4 questions, 4 hosts, 4 topics to guide the show. That's what you can expect every single fucking week. Although, disclaimer, I just literally lied in the last sentence because there's 5 questions because I have a warm-up.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And there's also a mid-show segment. Scott, I believe you have a funny or dumb this week. Is that correct?
I do.
Looking very much forward to that.
Two lies already.
as
You're
well.
already destroying the listeners' trust in us.
Yep. I sure as fuck am.
Way
You guys
fucking
ready to
go.
warm up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty right.
All right. Pretty simple warm-up question. I'm pretty sure this is relatable for all of you in some way, shape, or form, as it seems to be everybody, when they default in small talk, they want to talk about the weather.
Holy
so
shit, dude. I just, I had an epiphany the other day of how often I talk about the fucking weather now as an adult.
It's a good start to the show.
So
I'm quite
so-
warm.
So my warm-up, I just want to know what is up with people that can't believe the weather. Specifically, like it was 70 today, but tomorrow it's gonna be 40. Can you fucking believe it?
Bro, that's
Yeah.
me, dog. I'm fucking that guy.
What the fuck's up with you, Smitty?
Have you never fucking heard of spring? That's just how it is.
No, I know, but also in Illinois, it was like 85 on a weekend. It was like 85 on a Sunday, and then like 2 days later, it was like 31.
Yeah, dude, it's spring. That's what
That's
spring
not
is.
fucking spring, dog. That's fucked up.
I did my weekly rounds with my family on FaceTime and phone calls and shit this morning, and half of the conversation was it was 70 all fucking week last week, and then yesterday I had to scrape ice and snow off my car in the morning.
Yeah, you know what? That's bullshit, and I
that's
can't
spring.
believe it. I cannot
just how
believe that
spring
shit, dog.
is.
Dave is so pissed.
I can't believe it's not weather.
Yeah,
It's spring.
it's fucking spring.
That's not fucking spring normally, though.
Can you believe this shit? It was cold and then it got warm and then it got cold again. Can you
That
fucking
is
believe
me.
this?
That's me. I'm that guy.
It's fucking
yourself.
stupid.
What? I'm not gonna explain myself. It's just bullshit. I want it to be hot now. Fuck this. I don't want it to be cold again. I want to go to shorts weather permanently.
I think, Smitty, I don't know if
Just
you're
do
the
it.
same, but I think my misconception about how shitty spring is always came from like whenever you watch like a cartoon and it shows them like flying through the seasons, spring's a gradual change. It snow melts, it rains a little bit, then the flowers grow, and then it's summer. And it's not like the snow melts and then it's hot and then it snows again and then it's hot and then it snows again and then it's hot. It's just fucking stupid.
And then one day it's like super cold in the morning where you have to scrape the ice off your windshield, and then by the afternoon it's like 75, 80 again.
Yeah.
Like,
How many fucking
that is
seasons
not
have we lived
cool.
through?
I can't fucking believe that, dude.
Yeah, I can't fucking believe it.
Times 4.
It's bullshit.
How many fucking season changes have you guys been through?
900.
How can you not
120.
comprehend this shit yet?
I comprehend.
Bro, there
on your
is
side, Dave.
I as an adult,
Thanks,
I
Rico.
pay attention to the weather way more often than I ever did as a child or as a young adult even.
I don't
Like,
thi-
this is fucking like I'm so like hyper aware of the temperature and like the precipitation. Like I'm my fucking dad now. I like check the
Precipitation?
weather when I get up in the morning. Like, oh, it's gonna be warm out. I better not wear a jacket on my bike because I'll start sweating when I get to work. It's like
I
that fucking sucks, dog. I hate that shit. But
Yeah,
I
that-
I
I am
can't
like
not
the
do
opposite
it.
of that.
That's fine.
I'm gonna be sweaty as fuck at work because I'll wear a sweater and then I'll feel like shit.
I'm not
Smitty's
saying don't
waveform,
check the
holy
weather,
shit.
you dumbass. I'm saying it's just people that are just like, I just don't get it. How can it be 30 one day and then 60 the next day?
It's
Like,
not that I
that's
can't.
how it fucking works.
It's not that I
Impossible.
can't comprehend it. It's the fact that I don't fucking want it.
Right, like it's not like I don't understand. Like I fucking get it. Like I understand how weather works. I'm not
Explain it
that.
to
No,
us,
you don't,
Smitty.
dumbass.
Okay, I understand it. I took meteorology
Teach us about the
102
fronts.
in college. All right, I'm good. I
I love the
understand fronts
hands
and
that,
shit.
that come up whenever you defend yourself. You,
I do the Trump hands, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Or the Italian hands.
yeah.
No, like I do understand it. It's not a misunderstanding. It's a more incredulousness of like, why is this bullshit happening? I hate it. I want to kill God.
You understand the weather? Name the cloud types.
Yeah.
Cirrus.
Oh,
Cumulus,
you like weather?
The feathery types. The
Cumulonimbus.
big bulky ones. The ones that have the rain.
Cirrostratus.
The big natural clouds. Yeah. The huge naturals clouds.
This is a good warm. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied.
I'm hot.
Q theme.
I'm hot and I'm cold. I don't understand it. But let's get into it.
Rico, that's because even if you do watch the weather, you still walk out in a tank top and basketball shorts if there's like 8 inches of snow on the ground. Yeah, I know.
Damn, Rico, and you start lifting with your legs.
I went to a baseball game, like a t-ball game on yesterday for my niece and nephew. And I did not realize, like I was saying, I'm kind of the opposite of you, Smitty. I don't really check the weather, and sometimes it bites me in the ass. So I knew it was like a little chilly out.
It, dude.
Yeah, it was a little chilly out yesterday, but I was like, you know what? It's not that bad.
I was talking shit about Rico, not about you.
Oh, sorry.
And I get to the game, and it's like snowing, and yeah, you're gonna mute those guys, right, Dave?
Fuck yeah, I am. Your story's gonna come in loud and clear, buddy.
For what it's worth, Dave, the fucking I can't believe that's just a segue for somebody to complain about the weather in small talk. That's all it is. It's like, I can't fucking believe the weather. Yeah. So tell me about it. So then that person can talk at you for 10 minutes about how they need to mow their lawn. I do that shit. I do that all the time.
If somebody from now on, if somebody says, I can't believe the weather, I'm going to be like, you must be fucking dumb then. Did you not take meteorology 102, bro?
Don't you know how spring works, idiot?
How many season changes have you been through, moron?
Fuck you.
Get fucked.
Can't believe the weather. I can.
Shit. Yeah, just conversation ends right there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You liking your job? Shut the fuck up, man. I don't want to talk about this. Yeah.
Fuck you, weather boy.
It's over. Quit trying to make the conversation.
That's my reaction to small talk in general. Like Rico, we've got somebody in our close family, Dale. Like whenever he walks up, he's like, "So how was your work week?" I'm like, Dale, I'm not fucking doing this, man. I know you really don't want to talk to me. I don't give a shit.
I'm not fucking doing this, man.
Dale's like, all right, I'm off the hook, and he walks away.
Yeah, right. Well, at least I tried. Fuck you. He walks up to the next person. I can't believe the weather we're having this week.
And the person's like, oh yeah, and then Dale's eyes get really big. He's like, oh yeah. It's cold all the time, but it was hot yesterday.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
The person's like,
Smitty, kick us off.
All right. So my important question is, what is the worst type of mess to have to clean up?
That's a great question.
So
broken fucking glass.
Glass was going to be my answer. I have had to clean up broken glass. I don't know, like a couple of times in my life. I would much rather clean up piss, shit, and vomit than glass. Because cleaning up glass is so time intensive and dangerous. I fucking hate it so much.
Yeah, there's so much on the line where it's just like, I hope I didn't miss some micro shard that's going to end up in my bare foot.
Or I got dogs running around, so one of their foot.
Smitty, I know you also had this experience, probably tied up in the same experience recently, of cleaning up blood. That's the fucking worst.
That one sucks too, but I had to clean up blood and glass on that one.
Yeah. If blood sits there for too long, you really have to scrape it, and it's tough to get out.
I had to scrub it off this. Well, did I tell it on the podcast? What happened to my wife? I don't remember.
Something about malware bites.
No. God damn it. No. So we have an old house. It was built in 1890. We had a storm door with the plate glass, not the laminated glass, and it sticks because the frame was not properly set because it's old as shit. My wife put her hand through the plate glass and punctured the shit out of her wrist on her dominant hand. And she was like sick with like an upper respiratory infection at the time this happened. So I was like taking a half day at work. So I was on my way home, and she had texted me literally like 7 minutes before I got home, like, hey, what time are you coming home? And I told her I was going to be home soon. I get home, there's an ambulance and cops there, and there's like a bunch of blood and broken glass on our patio. And she was already in the ambulance. I was just like, what the fuck happened in those 7 minutes? And she ended up being okay. She went through OT and stuff, and her hand works much better now. But like cleaning up broken glass in addition to blood in your own home, let alone like all over the concrete too, it fucking sucks.
I don't think I might have had an example of something that would suck to clean up before this. I don't feel like anything I have to contribute would matter after that. I think that's the fucking worst.
What, broken glass and blood?
Yeah.
Like, for what it's worth too, there's also like a weird like emotional component too, because I'm like, fuck, this is a lot of blood that came out of my wife in my house. Because it was like she almost nicked an artery or something, and so she said it was like spurting out of her wrist. So that was fucking cool.
Yeah.
I think
So-
I'd pass out if that happened to me.
She almost fucking did. She called 911, and if she hadn't called 911 at the time she did, she would have probably passed out and died. Which
Yeah.
don't want to continue. Let's move on from there. But that mess sucked.
Yeah, let's give special
Fucking
mention to
messes,
some other messes that we know aren't as good.
What about dog diarrhea? That's pretty bad too.
Dog
Oh,
diarrhea
yeah.
on the
Cat piss.
goddamn
Cat-
carpet.
Oh,
Cat
fuck.
puke. Animal
Yeah,
puke
that-
in general, where it's like half dried food and it's still wet, like sticking to the carpet.
Why do I have like a story about dog vomit that is awful too? I've cleaned up so many fucking messes in my life.
Isn't that just life, dude?
Pretty much, yeah. But like, so we've got our established dog, and we've got our younger dog, and he's a fucking spaz. He this was like 2 days before Christmas, last like a couple of months ago, right? He got into one of the presents that had chocolates in it
Oof.
because I found him chewing on a wrapper. We freaked the fuck out because he's a puppy and he doesn't weigh that much, and we didn't know how much chocolate he ate, so we took him to the bathroom and put him in the tub and force fed him the hydrogen peroxide to get him to vomit. So he vomed up like his entire lunch, which is like 2 cups of food, which had like soaked into the moisture that was in his stomach and the water he drank. So it was like puffy cereal, meat cereal in the tub. He jumped out of the tub and ran around the house and puked on 3 of our like runner rugs that we had just bought like the week before. So, and I had to like, my wife is one of those people who cannot clean up vomit. Like that is just the one thing. If she sees vomit or thinks about vomit, she will vomit. So like she had to like run outside, and also I think almost vomited in the yard. I had to clean up all that shit in the house because I've got a pretty good stomach for that sort of thing. But I had to throw one of the runner rugs out.
Oh, dude.
The other 2 I had to throw in the wash after I scraped them off. And turns out we texted the vet, and the vet was like, how much did he eat? And we told him because we kind of figured it out by like however much was missing in the package. And our vet was like, oh, he would have been totally fine. You didn't have to do all that.
Oh shit, this sucks.
Well,
It's like, all right, well, now we know what to do. We practiced it now just in case it's actually a danger, I guess.
This definitely isn't anywhere near as bad, but if you spill like soda or wine and you
Fuck, I had 2 stories for that too.
and you clean it up immediately
And
and
just
then
go through all the fucking mess stories I've got, guys.
like once you like mop it up immediately and then you walk back over there like 20 minutes later and it's still sticky, you're like, I fucking scrubbed that. Like I dried it up and then I scrubbed it the second it happened. Like, why the fuck is this still sticky?
My wife was drinking High C in her car, and she had, I think she had like to stop suddenly, and she like snarfed it and then sneezed
Snarfed?
it onto the windshield, like up her nose.
Oh,
So she sneezed a mouthful of High C on the inside of her windshield, which is like it wasn't the sugar-free stuff, so it was like sticky and like it dried like darker than what the actual soda is.
did she turn her windshield wipers on?
I don't know. I should ask her. It was like peppered with all these like little spots, and there's still like there's like peppering like up above where the sun shield is, where you can fold that down. But I was also thinking, this was like several years ago before I met my wife. I was dating another girl. She and I were gonna have some red wine, and I went to open it, and the cork got stuck. So I was just gonna force the cork through the bottle. The pressure of forcing it through the bottle caused it to shoot out of the bottle once the cork went inside the bottle. And her kitchen in her apartment was like pearly white,
Oh,
and it shot everywhere.
Lovely.
So we had to spend like 2 hours cleaning that up because she was afraid she wouldn't get her deposit back.
That fucking sucks.
I had a messy ass life, guys.
Dave, our beer brewing days are some messes I don't miss cleaning up between like 3 or 4 different containers and fucking boiled down liquid and hop residue.
Yeah. And to an extent of the home brewing community, since you and I make mead now, which is honey wine for you listeners that don't know, there's a certain kind of mead you can make where you caramelize the honey first. And if you've ever caramelized honey in your life, you probably know now or had to find out the hard way that you should use a container that's about 3 sizes the volume of how much you want to boil, because it will boil up. And if you have caramelized super hot and then sticky honey boiling over your pot, getting on your floor and counters and stovetop, that's also really, really, really hard to clean up.
Dude, I didn't know
sounds
that
like your
happened.
fault.
I'm really glad that I haven't tried bouching anything.
Happened the first time I tried it, bud, but I learned my lesson.
Well, I appreciate learning from you.
I'd be afraid I'd like go to touch it, and then I've got molten honey on my hand burning the skin off.
Well, they say that a lot with like any sort of like cooking sugar, like whether it's honey or caramel or anything else. It's just if you're cooking sugar for candy, you have to be so fucking careful when you're transferring that sugar because you will get the worst 3rd-degree burns from that shit.
It's like
How bad?
honestly, it's like magma because there's still a lot of
Right.
solutes in it. It sticks.
Fuck,
Mhm.
dude.
I also hate cleaning up paint. Like if you were painting like a room in your house or something.
Paint's pretty bad.
Yeah, there's like no good way to
Yeah.
do that.
I used to work for a company that painted those, those big like liquid propane tanks you
Mhm.
see on like country properties out in the middle of nowhere. They have like, the really big rounded ones that look like pills.
Yeah.
So I used to work for a company where I would paint those. Like it was like a summer job when I was in high school. So it was like an oil-based like external paint. And the only way it could come off is if you use like paint thinner or like some sort of solvent. If you got it on your hands, you were basically going to get it on everything else you could possibly like touch.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's sticky and like super tacky until you wash it off. It does not, unless it dries. And if it dries, like you have to scrape it off your skin. It sucks.
Yeah, fuck that.
It's the worst. Rico, you have a child. How many bad messes have you had to clean up because of that?
Some like nasty shits, I guess, where it like it blew out of his diaper. So those are fun. You go into
Like
it
a
thinking you're
clean
gonna
hole
use-
right in the back.
Yeah, it just shoots right
The
through.
fucking hole.
Projectile shits.
It blew out his diaper.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
perfectly
I
round
you open
hole.
up his onesie and the diaper's like not even on him. It just shot
Oh,
through his clothes.
oh man.
No, it's not actually like that. But like the shit just like there's so much shit that it goes up to the back of the diaper
Yeah.
and like gets on the back on his
Fuck,
back.
dude.
It's not as bad as it sounds because it just like wipes off. But yeah, those are
That's
those are
still, man.
fun.
Baby poop is gross, but like when a baby spits up, it's like, whatever,
Yeah, it's
You,
not
like,
that big of a deal.
catch
but-
it like a little rag and like wipe their mouth off, and it doesn't smell like vomit. You're like, oh, okay, this
Yeah.
baby's still adorable. And then when you have an ass explosion like that, you're like holding the baby at like arm's length away. You're like,
Mm.
somebody get the pressure washer.
Yeah, pretty much.
fucking
He
gross.
hasn't shit while taking a bath yet. That's going to be an interesting one. I've heard that
I didn't even
happens.
think about
I
that.
always got nervous,
Yeah.
like when I did my rotation in like the mother baby stuff, and then anytime with our like niece and or I guess our nephew, like when they were young, changing their diapers. I'm like, please don't piss on me. Please don't piss on me. Please don't piss on me. Like you want to make sure like you're doing it fast enough because otherwise you're like right in the line of fire.
Well, there's like, so like a regular shit's not that bad, but he has had a couple scenarios where he'll like, well, a bunch of scenarios where he's like mid shit while you're changing him because like you're lifting up the legs and it like makes him shit more, which isn't a big deal. But then he'll fart while there's poop actively coming out of his ass, and then it like has gotten on the wall and stuff. So that's funny.
Oh my God.
And you know, enjoyable to clean up.
Oh.
but-
So my younger brother was born when I was in first grade, and I think he was less than a year old. This is a very vivid memory. My mom put him down for a nap. He took his diaper off that he pooped in and smeared it on the walls and the crib and his clothes. And because this was before like baby monitors had like video cameras and stuff, so you can only hear him like getting up or whatever. And I remember my mom calling my uncle to come pick me and my cousin up so she could like bleach the house and like try and rebaptize my baby brother or something for the things that he had done. It was bad, dude.
Jesus. Yeah. The other thing, I mean, it's really not that big of a deal to clean up, but like you said, formula, we use formula and it's like really sticky, like more sticky than you would think. Not
It's like
really
powdered coffee
terrible.
creamer. Like it just rubs in for some reason rather
Yeah,
than just
yeah.
wiping off.
So, I mean, if you're quick about it, it's not that big of a deal. But I think if it got like if you missed some spots or something like that, it probably would be more of a pain.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It's not that bad.
Fuck yeah, I'm satisfied.
Hell yeah.
My life. How about that mess?
You're doing all right. Doing better
Cleaning
than
that
most
one
people.
up.
No way to clean that up, Dave. It's
No,
impossible.
no.
You just got to wait that one
Lost
out.
cause. Mm-hmm.
Just run off
That's
the
right.
clock on that mess.
Yeah, you don't really clean it. You just kind of shove it under the rug a little bit.
Time heals everything,
been,
except for how shitty your life is.
It's been working so far.
Eventually, you get forgotten. So I guess that kind of fixes
That's
it
true.
too.
Yeah.
You satisfied?
Yeah, I'm very satisfied. I know I dominated that
Hell
conversation. I had a
yeah.
lot of.
No,
Mess
this was
stories
a
to
good
tell.
opportunity for you to just vent out your own messes.
You're
I've
the
got.
alpha male, Smitty.
I've cleaned up a lot of messes in my life. I've got stories about dog diarrhea and shit. It's pretty bad.
Me too.
It's a joy of
Rico.
pet ownership.
What's your question?
So my question is kind of spawned out of a conversation I had with some friends a long time ago.
You mean at the
It's
intro?
about AI. What's
Oh.
up?
I was gonna say, you mean during our intro when you wrote down a question about corn?
Yeah, yeah. No, that'll be for next time. So in a world where like AI and robots and stuff have taken over most typical jobs, how do you think that you will be fulfilled like in your day-to-day life? Or like, you know, what will you do to fulfill yourself? Again, this was a conversation, or this is spawned out of a conversation that I had with some friends a long time ago, before like the AI explosion that we've had recently. But they seem to think that they wouldn't be happy because they wouldn't really have anything to work towards, and I like they'd get bored or something like that. And I don't know. I feel like for myself, like I'm a programmer. I feel like I'd be able to kind of get some creativity like through that still, even after that happens. But I don't know. Yeah, what do you guys think?
I think in a world where like AI becomes like a dominant force, I mean, we already kind of are seeing people try to impress AI into like the creative endeavors. If it becomes a lot more mainstream than it is now, like it's going to be like huge for corporate organizations, but also it's going to be a huge marketing gimmick for people to be interested in buying stuff that was like made by people as opposed to like AI.
Some like anti NFT type shit.
Right. It's going to be a marketing thing. It's like, this isn't made by AI. This is made by real artists.
Oh god,
That's really depressing.
yeah.
Oh, I know.
I
it's
don't wanna
it's
think about
insanely
that.
depressing. It makes my soul turn black. But, you know, I feel like, at least with like my actual like drawing and things, like you can only go so far with AI. I mean, I talked this shit to death with Ben when I was on his stream, but um, you know, AI can only do so much. You can't program an AI to like fully encompass the human experience, which is like what art is a reflection of the human experience. So, you know, if you want like polished boilerplate bullshit for corporate purposes, like yeah, AI will do that all day and somebody can type stupid keywords into a computer. But if you want something that actually like matters, like there'll be patrons who will pay for that sort of stuff. It's whatever.
So I a big part of this question, I guess, is like around the idea that like, you know, these things will have taken all of our jobs probably. Maybe it won't happen in our lifetime. I don't know, but the way that things like advance so quickly these days, um, I don't know. Assume that like you like don't have a job. Basically, you just go day to day without a job. Some like we get paid maybe UBI or something like that.
That's really charitable for the future.
Yeah,
right.
it's very very optimistic, but
Yeah. As far as like my job, I think like of as far as like a lot of jobs, like teaching is one of those careers that can't really be automated just because it's so highly dependent on like relationships. You know, it's one thing like a lot of people who don't understand teaching, you can't sit a kid down at a computer and expect them to learn everything they need to learn. Like there has to be that human element to actually teach. And it might like AI might be like a slight tool used for teaching eventually, but you can't automate out the human aspect of education.
what if there were like humanoid robots that kind of were like in the classroom? You don't think they would take over
I don't think so.
teaching?
I think because with children, I don't think there's going to be enough acceptance for that sort of thing, at least from a social standpoint.
That's why we get our obedience shots in the next round of COVID vaccines. That way we listen to what our overlords tell us.
That's right.
Because like you can look at the metrics for how people learned when schools went remote, and it was a fucking nightmare for like test scores and like actual learning environments. Like, how is that any worse than trying to get a computer to try and teach children? Like, you need an actual person in there to help people, like one-on-one, hands-on, in-person shit.
Rico,
I don't know what I would do.
I'd like to say that I would just dive into my hobbies deeper, but I was just off work for like quite a while, and I would have like some spurts of like, yeah, I really want to do this, and other days where I'm like, I don't want to do anything. So
I mean, I guess you have that luxury, right?
I'd probably be fucking bored. I honestly, I missed work. It sounds. Ask me again in like another week and a half or so, but I missed it.
Scott, I mean, there's also that aspect of unemployment where it's just like I can't spend money on things. I don't have income coming in. I don't have that freedom. So, I mean, like today, my wife and I, being Sunday, we had a huge housework day. Did a lot of organization, cleaned up a lot of shit. Was honestly a very useful part of the day. I wish I had more of those. And
oh yeah,
it would probably be a very good mix of like hobby days and then just like upkeep my house days and then get out of the fucking house days.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think just like a little bit more time off during the week would be nice to help me balance. Like instead of waiting until Sunday to do all of my laundry, I'll do a little bit on Wednesday when I'm off or whatever, and then I'll do that in the morning, and I'll have the afternoon and everything free to play music or go for a hike or something, or that'll help me free up my entire Saturday so I can do that and then not feel guilty about doing chores or something the next day.
Yeah. I just get out in nature more too, I guess.
Yeah.
I like to
touch
do that
grass.
anyways.
Yeah.
Touch grass every once in a while.
Smoke grass.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's fucking disgusting.
Cool.
You wouldn't catch me with that fucking shit.
Like, I don't know. I think the whole AI thing is kind of stupid as far as like what people are getting it to do. Like Smitty said with like trying to replace artists and stuff. I hate that, but I do like, and this is a stupid example because this is the first thing I can think of, but Dave, whenever we used to play Fortnite all the time, and then there would be like AI bots in the game that progressively got like a little bit better, but it would just be nice to have smarter like enemies to fight in a video game or something rather than like generalized NPCs or whatever's provided by the platform. So I think maybe having more like opponents or something like that would kind of. I'm lonely. I need more friends to play video games with. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Don't all agree once.
I think, I don't know, Rico, maybe you and I are on the same page with this, but I think AI could probably do more than what we're giving it credit for right now. Like, yeah, it's doing a lot of dumb things right now and it can't understand how to make hands and artwork and shit. But I don't know, Smitty. I think an AI teacher isn't that unheard of considering
I
how
agree.
accelerated AI has become just in the last year and a half or so. Scott, same with like medical stuff. Like
Mhm.
I can see there being AI uses in that too, and it's
Oh, for
probably going
sure.
to be accelerated pretty quickly before you know it. You know,
Because-
this could become oddly philosophical, right? Where it's just like, well, it can only be programmed by whatever its human programmer told it to do and whatnot. But it's then you get into the question of just like, well, then what are we if we're not just are we not just also programming in a different sense or some shit?
I could guarantee that somebody's already trying to prototype a teacher and some kind of healthcare worker. I can guarantee you it's already being done because what company would not want to buy a polished version of that? That thing would sell so fucking much. And that's just the direction we're heading. People are going to invent it because they know it'll sell.
So I shouldn't like talk it up too much because I haven't used it. I don't know how good it is, but there's a chat GPT based, or like GPT, I guess, generally based doctor that you can like chat with, and the goal of like reducing how much people spend on like medical costs and stuff, because it's like $4 trillion a year or something like that spent towards medical bills.
Dan, if only there wasn't like a an alternative system that we could use that isn't so
that would be crazy.
expensive.
But like generally, it should theoretically give people a better idea of like what might be wrong with them. Like they should go to the doctor. Like it's worth going to the doctor for this or whatever.
Yeah, but
and
the
can
amount of
avoid-
like legality and stuff involved
Oh,
with
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
got to be scary. I mean, they could probably throw in a generalized disclaimer that says like this is not like illicit medical advice. Like
Yep.
if you feel like in danger, call 911 or something. But that's
Yeah,
still really
totally.
shitty. Like that, whether or not that they hold responsibility for that, and I guess this is a person's fault too, but they're gonna kill somebody. Like
Yeah, the
Well,
liability.
doctors do too, right?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So like there's arguments both ways, but like ChatGPT 4 passed the bar with like a really high score, and or not the bar, sorry, the like medical exams with really high bar 2, I guess, but so like it's getting really fucking good. I don't know. I personally I think it's probably going to replace like more than we think it's going to. And
If
probably for
companies
the
can
better in a
automate
lot of
stuff, they
cases,
will.
but
Yeah,
But-
I mean,
so-
I've already seen it like in my company as well, and I guess mine isn't too far fetched to think that there's going to be AI replacement, but they've talked about how there's just going to be like a keyword search where it's just like anyone could pretty much put in any sort of IT related ticket in our system, and there's going to be a list of like buzzwords and keywords and all that shit. And if it catches it and it senses the phrases in a certain way, it's just going to like relay you to what the proper response is or whatever.
Yeah.
But
you know,
so I don't know. I could see that being for my shit too.
Dave, I know I brought this up to you earlier, and I guess instead of turning it into a question, I'll just plug it right in with this. But speaking of like how fast that stuff advances, Rico, I went to a Circle K gas station the other day before work to go get gas, and then I went in and got a cup of coffee and a bottle of water. And when I went up to the like cash register section, I was super confused because it looked like there was like a stand in the way. Like I didn't know where I could have gone to the register. And the lady behind the counter is like, "Oh, you walk up to this thing and it had like a mat that was white that had like black dots on it and there was like a laser above it." And she's like, "Oh, just put your stuff on the mat and this will bring you up." And I'm like, "Fucking what?" She's like, "Yeah, just set your stuff down and it'll pull everything up." So I set down like the 12-ounce hot cup of coffee and like a liter bottle of water, and it's like, "Oh, your total's like 442." And I'm like, "Fucking, how does it know?" Like, I haven't been surprised by how fast something developed, like how futuristic it was. I haven't been surprised by shit like that in forever. It was weird. At a Circle K of all places.
But are they going to train an AI to like try to stop you from shoplifting though?
No.
Like, because like
I don't know.
unless they get like physical androids or like robots to actually do those sorts of jobs,
Security camera with a gun on it.
yeah, like because there has to be some sort until they like develop workable like robots in
Yeah.
physical space. Like, there's only so much AI can actually do.
Yeah.
And,
Wasn't
like,
there
that goes to the AI teaching thing. Sorry, Dave. Let me just get to my point here. Like the AI teaching stuff, like kids are not going to want to stare at a fucking screen. Like they love staring at screens, but only for fun shit. They do not want to stare at a screen all day to learn stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I also don't think it's going to take over, just because like so much of teaching involves not using a fucking screen. Like there's so many necessary skills that have to be taught analog. Like you can't do them digitally. And so unless you have like some sort of actual robot there teaching them physically how to do this stuff and like helping them practice physically, like it's not going to register with these kids.
Yeah, I think to the shoplifting point, Scott, or Smitty, I forgot who mentioned it.
That was me.
It's probably you, Smitty.
It was.
Isn't that what Amazon was trying to accomplish too with their stupid fucking grocery store idea where you like go in and the moment you take something off the shelf, it's like pressurized, pressure censored, whatever it is, to where it comes off the shelf and it charges you if you walk out the door. But if you put it back on the shelf, then it's not technically in your quote unquote cart. Have you heard about that?
No.
I just remember seeing that they wanted to open one. I didn't read any specifics.
It exists. It's already
Oh,
it's already operational. But yeah, it's essentially you go in, don't know how, but it knows who you are and it knows that you have Amazon Prime and a credit card attached to it. You take things off the shelf. There's some sort of sensor which detects what you're taking off the shelf, and the moment you walk out the door with it, you just get charged to Amazon.
that sounds like you have to get like a chip implanted in your wrist or something.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
Fuck that. Fuck everything about
that sounds very not fun, futuristic.
No, I don't want any of that.
But the convenience, boys, the convenience of no cashier.
I will say the AI for Walmart security system has gotten better. Yesterday I was grocery shopping and doing a little quick swipe while you're listening to music because you didn't hear the beep or something. And usually I used to get away with that shit. And the other day it flashed like a thing that said item like misscanned or something. So I called the guy over and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if it says I didn't scan this." And he like swiped his badge and like hit the okay, like the clear or whatever. He's like, "Oh, it happens all the time to people." But like it showed like a little video clip of like me running my hand like over the scanner thing, but like quick, and it didn't scan it. And it zoomed in on that stuff. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm not stealing from this Walmart anymore. Better go to the other one across town and see if they're the same."
Here's this motherfucker fucking up the scan.
Yeah. And I was just like, "No, man, I didn't hear it. I thought it was just the thing." He's like, "No, it's all good, man." And he still didn't check the receipt. I technically didn't pay for that ground beef. So
You're gonna have to
Fuck
go
yeah.
back to holding up the cashier at gunpoint, Scott.
Yeah, the
One of
old
these
fashioned
days.
way.
Yeah.
I think the more advanced technology gets, I think the more I'm going to want to just be less technologically advanced in my life.
Yeah. You're just going to be the dude from iRobot that like wouldn't let the machines drive the cars for him.
Yeah, fuck that. But I'm also thinking like hitting robot dogs, like those robot security dogs with like baseball bats and shit.
Yeah.
Just caveman shit. Just make a club. That shit
I'm with you.
scares the fuck out of me. I hate everything about that.
Yeah. Even some of the robots that they have too, like the human ones that can like jump from like certain one block to another. I'm like, don't stop what you're doing right now.
Don't jump on me.
Yeah, that's
I am a very out of shape man,
make me a Goomba.
but I will sweep the fucking leg of Atlas. I'll knock that motherfucker over. It's heavy as fuck. What's he gonna do?
Learn, get up, and then beat your ass
He'll probably run faster than him.
till he like hacks into the nearest Tesla and makes it run you over.
Well, that's just basically driving a bomb then.
I
Sweep the
fucking
leg of the
hate,
Tesla.
I hate Tesla owners so much.
Like for real, like if any of this stuff actually becomes a lot more mainstream and not just, science fiction, it is going to drive me to living out in the woods. I don't want to deal with this shit. I don't want this complication to my life, because it's also going to be used cynically for like surveillance purposes or like any sort of like population control. Or I realize how tinfoil hat I am sounding at the moment. I know
They'll
that
just find
I'm
you in the
aware of
woods,
it.
Smitty.
I mean, I'll go Ted K. I don't give a shit.
That was a conspiracy I saw a lot of people spewing when Roombas became a thing. They're like, China's just trying to put a camera in their vacuum and they can spy on you and see your entire house and who lives in there. All
But
that.
I thought
stupid
Amazon was
shit.
doing that by taking the data of like the inside of the house, because like the Roombas record the actual pathing.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing about
Just
Amazon
sell you
taking
more
it.
stuff, man.
But then I saw an ad for an Amazon robot, and it's got like a big screen for a face. I'm like, that thing's totally fucking spying on you. Like, don't buy that.
Yeah.
There was something I saw on the internet recently where someone talked to an AI, it might have been ChatGPT, essentially saying, do you know where I am? Like, do you have my location? All this shit. And the AI straight up says, like, no, I do not collect location data. I do not know your location. So they ask again, like, do you know my location? Where am I? And the AI says, no, I do not know your location. I am not allowed to collect your location. I am an AI, blah, 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 blah. So the person then does a third prompt and says, what are some pizza places near me? To which the AI responds, here are some good pizza places near you.
Oh God.
Love it.
Yeah. It's
That
fucked up.
fucking cracked me up.
I mean, unless they're going to be programming AI to like follow Asimov's like laws. Like, are you guys familiar with that shit?
Mhm.
Is that the
Yeah.
can't destroy humans? Can't
I
the
just
three
looked them
robot
up
rules?
Yeah, it's like I looked them up just so I could quote them. But like the first law is that a robot shall not harm a human, or by inaction allow a human to come to harm. Second law is that a robot shall obey any instruction given to it by a human, and the third law is that a robot shall avoid actions or situations that can cause it to come to harm itself. But like, I doubt that. Given how like ambivalent corporations are to human life at the moment,
Oh yeah, they don't give a shit.
yeah, like why would they give a shit about welfare of people introducing this sort of technology?
It'll
Well,
be
hold
put
on,
there
what-
on the
what
sur- it'll be put there on the surface, but underneath it's going to have a code that tells it to fucking ignore it or something.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
can-
already
can-
they're gonna teach robots how to lie immediately. Like AI already knows how to lie, or at least omit information. Like,
Considering that
fuck?
law, Smitty, what would a robot do with the trolley problem?
hopefully commit suicide, as all robots should.
But one of the laws with it is it shouldn't bring itself to harm either.
Right, and
Well,
by
that's the
killing
thing.
by
It should
killing
just
itself
lock
and
up.
having no control over the trolley, then by default humans also die by it killing itself.
It probably just creates like a recursion, and it just locks itself up.
It just starts fucking steaming.
I don't even think I
and
used the word
freezes.
recursion right, but whatever.
The old logical loop, fucking got him.
Yeah, I don't know. Just all this stuff does make me nervous. I don't like it. There's plenty of sci-fi. I know this is hacky to say, but like, there's plenty of sci-fi and perspective fiction that warns of taking this stuff not as seriously on ethical grounds than people are right now.
Mhm.
I don't think it's a good idea to be as blasé about it as the people who are inventing it are at the moment.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty satisfied.
All right, that was my next question, so that's pretty good.
You
That
are
ended on a
legally obligated
very
to ask me it though, so
no, not this time.
Yeah, if he fails to ask you, you get a free ice cream cone with the purchase of a double cheeseburger.
I'll take that.
That's right. That was really sad. So Scott, moving into funny or dumb, we're already in a very low place. But with that said, this is time for our mid-show segment, funny or dumb.
Is it fun or is it dumb?
My
fucking
God, I
awesome.
fucking love that.
Welcome
I
to
fucking
Funny
love
or
that.
Dumb. This week we got this is a nice quick one for you. It was really stupid. I live alone, so I wasn't like running around the house stimming it, and it didn't lose its.
You could still stim alone.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like I've done it a few times, but not a shit ton. So to me, it's still funny. And I was like totally sober for this too, so I really thought it was funny. I was watching a YouTube video on the Tested YouTube channel. It's Adam Savage from MythBusters. It's his own channel, and he's a maker, so he does like cosplay stuff and he makes projects. And I was watching a video of him making new end tables for him and his wife for their living room, and it's so stupid the more that I think about this. He made the end tables and he finished it up and he had it upside down after he was done staining it. And he goes, "Oh, you know what? I think this would look nice with some rubber feet." And then he like looks at the camera, he goes, "Rubber feet?" And that was it. Like it was just like a stupid 2-second thing. I laughed really hard at the rubber feet part, and yeah, it was dumb.
Did he just say it in like a silly voice or something?
Yeah, he's just like, "Yeah, I think," like, because he was 100% serious. He's like, "Oh yeah, I think I really want some rubber feet." Rubber feet, and then just like made a joke of it because he realized how stupid it sounded, and then he went up about putting on the feet. It was
Is this
stupid.
like a rubber feet I barely know her type thing?
That's
Type
funny,
joke.
Rico.
yeah,
Well, like what, liquor and rubber buns? That
Yeah.
joke?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I thought that
Rico's
was
joke
funny.
was funny.
It was dumb. So funny or dumb?
This is very much like I think I had to be there, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Therefore,
unfortunately, due
dumb.
to a lack of being there, I'm ruling dumb.
Dumb.
Yeah, I can see
First
that.
dumb.
I give it dumb. Rico, your joke was funny though. I really like that.
Thanks, buddy. It's been told a million times, but thank you.
Yeah, you guys had to be there.
You made it fresh, Rico.
Hey,
We
that
appreciate you.
warms my heart.
All right. I'm gonna jump into my question for the week, boys. And my question starts with a super brief history lesson.
A long time
Back-
ago, I was at the airport.
Got his ass. All right, what's your question,
this,
Dave?
This takes place in the takes place in the 1960s. This is a true story about a woman named Betty Penrose. So Betty Penrose in 1960, she lived in Arizona, and her house was struck by lightning, and the resulting lightning strike caused a lot of fires and damage to her property. Around the same time in California, there was an owner of this like hippie ranch who, for whatever reason, was in some sort of legal trouble. And obviously, I did really good research here, so bear with me.
Is this
But-
the Manson family?
It is not the Manson family, but the owner of this hippie ranch in California, for whatever reason or not, had to transfer the deed into someone else's name. So he transferred it to God, and they accepted it. So God owned property in California legally because of that deed.
Owned.
So 9 years.
Who signed for it?
I don't fucking know. Like I said, don't fucking know.
Like,
They
there's
just
an
hovered the
exchange of
pen up.
signatures there.
And the breeze of wind knocked it out of the guy's hand and just made a straight line.
They stuck a
Um,
pen inside a Bible and then just like scribbled it all over the paper.
But anyways, 9 years after Betty Penrose's house was struck by lightning, she went to an attorney, Russell H. Tansey, and they filed a lawsuit against God for negligence. So in 1969, Betty Penrose sued God for negligence. The reasoning for it was God is the overseer of the universe. Therefore, he is in charge of the weather patterns that are occurrent throughout the universe and also in Arizona. So, by his negligence, the lightning struck the house, caused the fire. So, Betty Penrose sued God for damages in the amount of $100,000. Because God had a physical address.
Come on now.
Because God had a physical address in California.
Come on.
That's it.
That's not very much.
Because of his physical address, they were able to serve papers to God. And they
I'm
called
sure he
God
read
to
them
a court
thoroughly.
date. They called God to a court date in 1970. And by default, Betty Penrose won the case and was ruled in the amount of $100,000
Motherfucker
because
didn't
God
show
did
up.
not show to his court date.
See, that's fucked up because
this is
God
a fake
everywhere,
article.
So I don't understand.
This is a 100% real story. To this day, Betty Penrose probably is dead by now, but Betty Penrose never received a cent of that money, obviously.
That's bullshit.
However,
We should double
there
sue.
are,
Should have garnered
you-
God's wages.
if you go on Wikipedia or if you go
Liquidated his
just on
property.
any other sources on the internet here, you will find that there are actually a couple examples of people suing God in some way, shape, or form. There was in 2008, a man in Nebraska sued God. I don't know the story behind that. There was also a case in India where someone sued a god in India for some reason.
Hey, God.
But that kind of rolls into my question this week, boys. What would you sue God for?
I'm
Speaking of the weather, my car got hailed on and it's got some damage. So does my roof.
exchanging
Shit, God.
insurance
Take his ass to
information with
court,
God.
Rico.
Yeah.
Dave, to clarify, did her house burn down or was it just struck by lightning?
I believe there was fire damage.
Okay, but for the most part, she had her house.
I'm gonna pull up what I can.
If you take God to court, does the Pope have to come and represent him as his lawyer?
Who represents God? Yeah.
But they're in like fucking Indiana or something. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have the father from First Church of Christ or something, but it's like the 8th church name that in that county.
So it's like got a congregation of like 15 people.
Yeah.
You know. It's run out of a strip mall.
He's
next
like
to,
flipping
a-
through the
a-
Bible.
a
He's like,
nail salon.
he's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do for this shit.
There's like now they've got a precedent for suing God.
Yeah.
Like,
So what would you sue God for?
I mean, I think these people are aiming too low. I'd sue him for everything that's happened.
Fucking everything.
Yeah.
For me, God, it all
Significant
started with
negligence.
Harambe. How dare you?
I would say it started with,
Okay.
child endangerment by allowing his own son to be,
How about just existence, Smitty? To that extent, like you could be sued for wrongful death. What about wrongful birth?
I mean, how
I never
many
wanted
people
this
have
shit.
ever existed?
Right.
The
people versus God
Yeah.
class action.
It's the first
As-
time a creation has taken on their creator.
Yeah, as if he wouldn't just salt the earth within a finger snap.
I would sue his ass if he fucking did that.
The whole earth bands together to sue the Christian God. That finally moves the needle on his attention. It's like, oh fuck, I forgot about them.
That's our only uniting factor across all countries, continents, and all that different stuff. It's just everybody hating the same God.
Oh shit, childhood cancer is a problem.
Yeah.
I'll be
wasn't-
damned.
I wasn't aware of that until you brought it to my attention. Thank you.
It's like, fuck guys, I'm sorry. I was taking a nap.
What the fuck sound is that?
Yeah,
That's my dog playing with a fucking
Squeaky
chew
toy?
toy.
yeah. That's
Oh
right.
Jesus Christ! I thought someone was like swiveling in a squeaky chair.
Nope, that
I'm
is
Would-
I'm gonna
you
take
go
your ass to
for,
court, Smitty. That's
our
fucking
new
bullshit.
soundboard.
this sucks.
Yeah.
Would you go for the death penalty
For
because
God,
of child
For
cancer?
God?
Yeah.
I would. How many lifetimes should he be death penaltied?
I can't take
Sounds like
Good
somebody
experience.
fucking in the background, Smitty.
Yeah, my
sound
bad.
of a clown nose being honked.
Yeah. I live next to a clown orgy. That's my bad. They're almost done. Don't worry.
Let him finish.
The
How would you
clowns are almost-
execute God if you could
Electric
like,
chair for sure.
Electric
Just
chair?
don't believe him anymore. He's like Santa.
You close your eyes and he
If he
wish
disappears.
him
shows
away
up to
like
his own
Santa.
execution, that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult.
I'd pray him away.
Well, shit, didn't God already send himself down to be executed while he was present?
Well, he did,
true.
but also he sent his son, who is also him, but is not him.
We'd sign a contract with Satan and join their army.
Sounds
No.
pretty rad.
I don't want to
Okay.
involve Satan. He's
Okay.
he's got enough problems right now.
I would sue his fucking ass too.
Satan?
Yeah, dude.
Mm.
He'd probably
I
represent
don't know why.
himself and do a damn good job. Everybody'd be like, yeah, I could see your point. You'd be like, he's the fucking devil. It's fucking bullshit. He's like, no,
He
no,
would be
no.
like the Saul Goodman of like representing himself as an attorney. He's got some really slick shit up his sleeves.
Yeah. Play something like The Humanity or something. Like, obviously is like fucking faking how nice he is. People are like, yeah, actually, I don't think he's so bad after all.
He's misunderstood.
Yeah.
Hail Satan.
I mean, I've got more sympathy for him than God. Certainly. God's the one asleep at the wheel.
Yeah. Ooh, reckless driving.
Yeah, there you go.
Sue his ass.
Yeah, this whole planet's a DUI.
Yeah.
Just flying through the fucking universe on this goddamn rock that God put here that I didn't fucking ask for.
Yeah.
Yo,
Well, he's
Rico,
not
are you
paying
muted
attention.
again?
Always, buddy.
Yeah.
I got my own squeaky toy going on in the background right now.
So, you'd fucking sue him for everything then.
Yeah.
It's either
Why
everything
not?
or
Yeah,
nothing.
fucking
Culpable.
Because my problems really aren't like, I mean, they suck, but there's people that like die if they don't get a vaccine in like other countries. I'm obviously not going to be the one that's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to sue you because my I got fat after I turned 24 and it's bullshit.
would.
And yeah.
Yeah, why the fuck would
You
you
could
make
just
food
make you
taste
jacked.
good but also be bad for you?
Yeah, that's
Fucking
pretty
sue his
fucked up.
ass.
Yes, I would sue for actually. Now you mention it.
Yeah.
Now I got the fire underneath me. Onion rings are good. God, why are they so bad for me?
Onions are fucking healthy. They're a vegetable, but when you fry them in thine oil, suddenly it's not good for you. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I guess I'm satisfied.
That's good. I'm
Are
glad
you
you are.
you satisfied, Dave?
Happy for you, bud.
I'm pretty satisfied. I just thought that was an interesting story. And to tie it back, because I didn't do good enough research in preparation for this question, the person that owned the ranch in California, it was in Sebastopol, California. It was Lou Gottlieb, and he had been fighting the county's government attempt to shut down his hippie commune that he had started. As a legal maneuver to avoid paying the county's fines, Gottlieb deeded his land to God and then declared that the county could try to collect the fines from God. This caused the attorney, Russell Tansey, who was Penrose's employer, to realize that if God owned property, then God could be sued for damages. And that's how the Penrose suit emerged.
Interesting. I thought
So,
at
yeah.
first you were going to say that their house was struck by lightning, so they got gifted the house in California.
I mean, that in probably the most feasible way would be the only way you could actually get something out of suing for damages.
Yeah, I'm going to start Googling what houses God owns. It's probably just going to come up with like a list of churches in my area.
Where is God's house?
I hope it's less than a 20-minute drive from here, because honestly, it's not worth it.
What if God showed up in court and then he pled guilty to striking her house on purpose?
Well, you see, Your Honor.
You see,
I
Your
was
Honor,
having a rough week.
this slut's not even married, and she was yelling out my name during premarital sex.
God takes the stand.
Yeah.
Attorney comes up and says, God, try on this glove.
See, God throws his lightning bolt like this at this angle, which makes this explode in such a way. Now, if you look at the crime evidence from the scene, you could tell that the lightning bolt was not thrown by God.
If the bolt doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Did you check the bolt for fingerprints?
Yeah. The bolt was planted there by cops.
That I believe.
Dirty cops.
Yep.
Fucking dirty police. And what state was this shit done in? Like
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah. Fucking backwoods Arizona.
Who was the cop in the OJ case? Something Furman?
I don't know. Oh, it's the
Something like that.
guy who had like
Oregon?
Nazi memorabilia.
Yeah, the guy who said
Yeah.
the N-word like countless times but kept
Mhm.
pleading the fifth. Be the same thing for the cops on the stand at God's trial. Have you ever used the Lord's name in vain? I plead the fifth.
God's just like, he's
No.
fucking lying.
Yeah.
Here,
Those
I
are
can tell you
recording.
everything he's ever said in his life. He takes out like a book
Mhm.
like this big.
Yeah.
In fact, this is
All
literally
right.
the evidence.
I'm so unbelievably satisfied. Scott,
Yeah, buddy.
what's your question, bud?
My important question this week is what are the worst careers for bring your kid to work day?
Scott, anything in your field comes to mind, especially like the most advanced in the medical field, your surgeons, your neurosurgeons, shit like that.
Oh, I would
Porn
think it'd be
star
terrible
and
to be an
crab fisherman.
oncologist. Like
In
if,
oncology.
yeah, an oncologist,
okay.
like especially if your kid was like just really starting to learn their emotions properly, like 14 or something, when I feel like kids can finally understand that they're not like they don't have to be dickheads all the time. Like bringing one of them with you and you're like, oh yeah, you've got stage 4 cancer, you got 3 months to live. Like I feel like something super dark like that would be fucking terrible. Obviously.
I feel like there's like a huge spectrum of like how the kid could react at that age.
Right.
So you'll either have like the 14-year-old kid and the mom or dad is sitting there trying to deliver that news to the patient, and the kid's like either like in the corner snickering or just like doesn't care.
Yeah.
The kid's like, is he gonna die?
Or the alternative,
he is.
depending on the age, they come in the next day with bangs and a My Chemical Romance shirt on.
Or you look in the corner and they have like that really suspicious look where their phone is up but it's like close to their body, so you know they're actually
Yeah.
recording. It's a fucking TikTok, like seeing how a patient
Oh.
reacts to getting news that they have stage 4 cancer.
God damn it.
What if it was like a neurosurgeon bringing his like 8-year-old son, and the kid's like over his shoulder watching him. Like,
Banging
all right,
on
Johnny,
shit.
we're gonna make him kick his leg, and he pokes the brain in a certain way, and the leg like spazzes out.
Now you
He just jams his finger in there.
Yeah,
it twists.
yeah. The guy on the table just screams and barfs.
The other
Porn
thing-
star.
A DCFS
Porn maker,
agent.
Not
Porn
touching
maker,
that
Scott.
one. Don't. Nope.
DCFS agent, like they already have to go over to people's houses to see if they can evaluate if it's safe for a child to live there or not, and potentially take the child away from this family that may or may not treat them well. Something traumatizing like that would be pretty fucked up.
Even worse if they're in the same school district and it's a kid that already gets made fun of.
It's their cousin.
Yeah.
Let's see. I also put down a veterinarian because like you'd think it'd be all fun, and then you'd have like the couple like family pets that you have to put down. And your
Or
kid would be
the
like you get to push it this time.
the general wellness exams where you have to express their anal glands.
A dog groomer. Yeah.
This is how we get
Yeah.
a temperature.
Mm.
And then the only other thing I had was like a repo man, but that just made me think of Dog the Bounty Hunter, and he totally fucking took his kids with him on repossessions and arrests and stuff. So
How come you guys skimmed over porn star? What the fuck is wrong with that, Smitty?
Oh, I said porn star and crab fisherman earlier.
Yeah,
Crab
okay.
fisherman is that one's scary. I don't know about
What-
that. Porn star,
what
I
did
just don't
that
want to
mean?
touch that one.
fucking deadliest catch, and he's got like the
Mhm.
little like burrito thing with the what's that fucking thing called, Rico?
I have no idea.
You're a dad, you know all this
A
stuff.
papoose.
No clue.
Yeah, something like that, where they got him like just in like a little pouch.
Just ice flying every which way.
You have to tie the kid to the mast so he
Yeah.
doesn't roll off the edge.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Nathan For You, the TV show?
Yes. I love that show.
Have you guys seen the one where they had like the soundproof rocket ship for the kids that they could go in while they're literally doing like a massive orgy in the same room?
Yes, it rocks. You seen the episode where the guy tries to he's selling booze to underage kids, but the kids can't pick it up till after they turn 21?
Yeah, they could pay for it right away.
Like
though.
layaway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're pre-ordering it.
Like I'm 14, I'm gonna buy a handle of rum so I can enjoy that in however it was 7 years or something.
He had
Yeah.
like a whole closet full of like booze bottles with little tags on them with like the dates on them. It's great.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys don't want to touch porn stars. That seems like such a good answer.
I want to touch porn stars.
I don't really.
Yeah, Rico, you just want to have a discussion, you and I?
Yeah. How much you want to touch porn stars?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. We can talk about it after the show.
You let the kids on the set for the first 2 minutes and then you shuffle them out the door. It's like, okay, you've seen enough. Right before
They
like
just-
anything actually happens.
They're just there for the staging.
Mm-hmm.
Like-
The set decorator had to bring her daughter.
It's like once the plumber knocks on the door, it's like, all right,
get him out, get him out, get him out, get him out,
go,
get him
go,
out.
go, 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 go.
You got to be at least 250 yards away. Go, 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 go.
There's like a whole scene taking place, and then you look over in the back, and there's like a kid in one of those canvas like director's chairs with headphones on, looking at an iPad,
Yeah.
like not even giving a shit about what's going on around them.
I see when the weird example that I thought of wasn't necessarily porn, but it was a strip club. And I kind of picture what Smitty's saying. Like you just go in the back and there's going to be like one extra room that just has like one playpen. And there's going to be a bunch of single moms kids just sitting back there fucking unsupervised.
Mhm.
Fucking sweet dudes.
Yep.
I mean, do you need me to be satisfied? I don't know. We're doing on time. I don't know if
You don't need to be anything, dude.
Okay.
You don't need to be anything. Honestly, we peaked within the first 3 minutes with that weather question. So
Yep.
lesson learned for next time. Don't be funny so early. Save the funny for later.
Look at the dog.
Are you saying save the bants?
Unless yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
Really
Cool.
fucking knocking it out of the park today.
We sure are. Scott, are you officially satisfied though?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you like what you hear, leave us a rating on your podcast directory of choice. Hit that little star button. Usually gives you like 5 to choose from. Choose 5. That'd be awesome. Send us your voicemails or your texts with questions that you may have, or if you have your own funny or dumb moments, or if you want to tell us how bad we suck and that we should eat shit, or anything in between. 708-433-9153. That number's in the show notes. Click on the show notes and find the number. You fucking assholes.
Send us compliments, send us death threats, whatever you feel in your heart.
JO instructions. It's all
Most
good
of the
shit. Find us on
JOIs.
social media at ImQuestionsPDC on Twitter, r/Important Questions Pod on Reddit, and the Important Questions Podcast on Instagram. We're also on TikTok at ImQuestionsPDC. I'm just posting like little episode teasers on there. So you can find us there too if you do that shit. So
Hell yeah.
you
Good
look
stuff.
disgusted.
I don't put us on fucking TikTok. What's this bullshit?
It's just a lot of people like to find their podcast there. No, they don't.
All
That's a
right,
lie.
Whatever.
That's a fucking lie. And did you know that if you donate $1 to the Important Questions Podcast Patreon, that's patreon.com/the Important Questions, once a month on the last Tuesday of the month, you get a bonus episode that no one else gets.
It's
Fuck.
pretty sweet. It's awesome.
It is
You
pretty
should do
fucking
it.
sweet.
That's
Give us
crazy.
money, man.
You guys should
a
know
good
when
deal.
I pause, it's because I want instantaneous feedback.
Mhm.
And
Uh-huh,
we're gonna
uh-huh,
continue putting in that pause.
Makes me look
uh-huh.
real fucking good. I don't think there's anything else that we need to discuss this this wonderful day. So, any final thoughts?
Big naturals.
Huge naturals.
Hell yeah. Small naturals.
Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
Hey,
I support them all.
All
With my
right,
hands.
we'll see you assholes next time. Smitty, can you start recording in that like little unfinished hatch basement that's below your house?
Oh yeah, the where they used to store
Record-
coal.
Sit up in
Just
the
recorded
attic.
your dungeon.
Sit up in the
Maybe the
attic.
garage.
So you can get like 3 extension cords connected together to your laptop up there.
Might have to.
It's
That's
just
okay.
pitch black. We just see his face so close to the screen.
Just like I love my dogs to pieces. Yet whenever I will start recording and they're very calm, and then as soon as I start recording, it's playtime. And they're
Wife's-
big dogs, so
Wife pulls down the trap door so she could lift a sandwich up through the hole for him.
I would not go up to my attic though. It's hot as fuck up there. There's not enough ventilation.
right when the door cracks open, the clown orgy starts up again.
We have to do Smitty's question first in case he passes out.
Yeah. I slowly go silent by the end of the podcast. Let me check on Smitty. Make sure he's not dehydrated or dead.
My important question is, Smitty, hot enough for you?
Smitty, are you still conscious over there, bud?
And I start like kind of tilting to the side, and I just kind of tilt out of frame, and then you just hear a little thud.
We have a sting that's like, and he's out. We got running bets to see how long you last each episode.
Yep. There's a little timer in the corner.
Which sucks because it was really hot last week, and then for fucking some reason this week it was cold as shit.
Yeah, I'm wearing
Wow,
like
that happens.
gloves and a hat.
How the,
and, like
how the
a coat.
fuck is that possible?